So many babes, so little time. Groovy. Holy cow. Shake it, baby. If it bleeds, I can kill it. Cool.
Last time on Matt Nukem Forever.
I know right where I'd stick him.
Like, I'm not even gonna kink shame here, but
Power armor is for pussies.
snuck John DiMaggio in there. Critical storyline information.
I knew that retirement bullshit was just bullshit.
Welcome back to Matt Nukem Forever, and yeah, I'm actually continuing this. It's a thing, and I'm doing it. I bet you all thought I was gonna drop it, but no, I'm committed to. So after battling the Battle Lord, Duke makes his way to the Duke Dome. Now, it's unclear how much personal stake Mr. Nukem has in Las Vegas, but it seems like a sizable percentage, as he has an entire stadium named after him, which I assume is the arena in which the detonators play on. It looks different than the one tutorial. Is he majority owner of the team? Or anyway, to get to said Duke Dome, we're going to need to do so via a sewer level, which of course is rendered in the same dynamic style as the rest of the game. Gray and more gray, sometimes with a smattering of a lighter gray. To be honest, you're only in here for like a minute or two before you find yourself in a construction yard, get used to that, where some nameless NPCs are jabbering away, and since they're in the universe of Duke Nukem Forever, they're talking about sex and sex-related sex.
So I went on a date with that hot little piece of ass from my church.
Yeah, and?
No good. Said we didn't click. Hell, that's all I wanted to do was click.
Out of the corner of their eyes, they notice that a slab of human beef carrying a shotgun has wandered into their midst.
Holy Christ, it's Duke Nukem!
Which is a line I kinda smiled at. It's delivered with a believable mix of surprise banality. Dum Dum and Doofus informed Duke that they saw a bunch of presumably slimy tentacles penetrating the Duke Dome earlier, and he should sort of maybe think about heading there next. To do so, they offer you a crane ride to haul you from point A to point B, helpfully dangling Duke in front of a parking lot filled with a massive amount of enemies. They leave you in harm's way of this firing squad for an extended period of time, thanks fellas, and the sequence drags on for a bit too long before you're unceremoniously dumped out in another construction yard that you'll now have to fight through. Next up, you'll find the Railgun, one of the game's very few new additions to Duke's arsenal, and while it does exactly what it says, it's a gun, and it certainly rails, I can't deny it's pretty useful. Its zoom functionality and high damage make it a go-to in long-distance skirmishes or against tougher enemies, but it's unspectacular in about every other way. From its design to the actual projectile effects, it's just not as satisfying as, say, Quake's or Shadow Warrior's version of the Arnie classic.
Time to get erased!
I didn't talk about it last time, because I didn't want to, but now's a worse time than any to discuss the beer mechanic that was introduced back in the Duke Cave. In Duke Nukem 3D, steroids would make you go faster and kick harder. In Duke Nukem Forever, steroids would make you go faster, punch harder, and let you see absolutely fucking nothing. Beer works almost the same in that, yeah, your vision is impaired because super alpha male Duke Nukem gets blasted by drinking one beer, but he can at least sustain way more damage. He doesn't move faster or hit enemies any more violently, but yeah, he can now absorb more bullets. That's how being drunk works. I find this all pretty superfluous. Why not just combine these two items into one, like just having steroids that have more added benefits, or instead of steroids, you know, vitamin X if you're a Nintendo kid. And maybe we can unfuck the screen to actually see a little better, a light red tinge like in Duke 3D. Well, on second thought, maybe not, because a consistent red tinge is used when you've sustained damage, because of course it is. It's just, can we not have this? Or maybe instead of items, how about a rage or a roid or juice mode, whatever you want to call it, that you can then build up and trigger like in God of War. Hell, you're already ripping off a bunch of mechanics from other games, so why not one more? Point being, having two items like this just seems a bit over-designed. Because I can't see anything when I use them, I almost never use them. Let me know in the comments that this is a mistake, cause I'm sure it is. Now, Duke finds this office trailer, and even though his girlfriends or whatever are kidnapped and thousands of people are dying, it's time to stick it to the man and Xerox my own asshole. Why would this increase your ego? I would think saving people and the accolades that would follow would do that, but it almost never happens. But no, pucker down onto that cold, unfeeling glass and print away. Hey, maybe later the construction foreman might see it, after he's done picking up the dead bodies of his coworkers and his friends, and he's gonna find this black and white photo of a stranger's ass. Moving on, we then trigger a tough but fun fight within the trailer where Duke is assaulted from two directions by pretty much every enemy we've faced thus far. Use just about everything you can, railing with the railgun, tossing explosives, and switching to the shoddy when pig cops enter from the skylight. The onslaught is pretty relentless, with Duke needing to stand his ground within the small enclosed space. Kinda reminded me of a shittier version of the cabin scenario from RE4. Yeah, the enemies look very Duke Nukem Forever-ish when they drop in from the roof, as their animation isn't especially polished. But still, one of the better encounters in the game, and it's also pretty neat when the trailer gets flipped on its side, dumping Duke out into the next level. Duke Dome Part 2, which is weird to actually say since we're not even close to the Duke Dome yet because we're going through construction yards. Again, the only difference being that there's lots of zone archive laying around. This is also the second instance of the game requiring you to figure out a puzzle of sorts by presenting you with an obstacle and some type of machine or vehicle to destroy said obstacle. One problem though is that said piece of machinery is not working. In this case, there is a missing battery, or as Duke simply puts it,
Needs juice.
So wander around the area, jump up on the scaffolding, grab the battery and trigger a fight with a jet copter alien thing. Once that's done, head back down over to the crane, slap the battery in there, and awkwardly break down the walls of Jericho.
A little bit of the bubbly.
This then finally opens up a path into the Duke Dome, whereupon we are treated to the next level, the Hive. Now, I'm of two minds when it comes to the Hive, with neither of them particularly thrilled about being in the Hive. It's dark and kinda spooky, which is cool. I mean, maybe it's too dark and creepy, making it feel out of place in a Duke Nukem game, but also has the distinction of being the most fucked up in terms of tone. Remember what I said last episode? This is one of the early weird shifts in tone that the game frequently decides to take. Yeah, this is the culmination of all of that. So, right, the Hive. It's interesting because it's not just gray, it's gray with some green and some black hues. Now, I know this is a callback to similar levels in the later episodes of Duke 3D, but built within this homunculus of early Unreal tech, this environment comes off as really serious and menacing, so it feels like it belongs in a different game, which it does, in Prey. 3D Realms helped produce 2006's Prey alongside the main developer, Human Head Software, so a lot of things were inspired from the alien environments showcased in that. Kinda funny that what was completed on Duke Nukem Forever in the mid-aughts was then scrapped and then started again from scratch the same year as Prey's release. So you'll be using some more organic solutions to puzzles within the Hive. Its atmosphere is incredibly foreboding, and many of Duke's context-sensitive quips are kept to a bare minimum here. However, George Broussard just can't help himself, so he decides to sneak in his, shall we say, personal touch.
I thought this was exit only. Ooh, tight fit.
Combat is pretty light within the Hive, as regular ground-based threats like troopers are only occasionally encountered, with the majority of opposition coming from Octobrains and these little things. I don't know what they are, but like I always say, everyone adores fighting tiny, hard-to-hit enemies in FPSs, so I'm glad to see the timeless tradition continue. Here's where things get really... I don't know. Eventually you come across some cocoon babes, something that was of course included in Duke 3D. It was tonally fucked up then, and it certainly is now, especially since 3D Realms made sure you can't save these women. You could murder them yourself or resign them to their horrible fate, something that Eurocom corrected in their Duke efforts on the N64. Now, due to the more cartoony, sprite-based nature of the build engine, while weird, I can give that some slack, because it's like, oh, yeah, yeah, rip of a new one, yeah! But here it's really hard to go, let's rock. Gonna rip, no. The game then just simply cock slaps you right in the face with this scene. They're even blocking the exit so you can't get away. And I can't even really describe it.
Duke, what's happening to us?
Looks like you're fucked.
Duke, it was our first time. I mean, with an alien.
The dialogue, the tone, Duke's response to the twins' plight, it just makes you feel really uncomfortable in a game that's supposed to be about movie references, strip clubs, chugging beers, and driving AC cars around. Like, if they wanted to make a gritty, serious Duke Nukem game and put the scene in, sure, that works. But here, like imagine you were watching Alien, but when John Hurt's chest explodes, Ash is all like, "Oh, I guess he was simply bursting to tell us something." Oh wait, something like that actually happens in Duke Nukem Forever, 2 minutes after the twins just suffered a horrible, excruciating death.
Strange silicone-based life form.
Do you want to be a tongue-in-cheek action romp, or do you want to be a dark and harrowing fight for humanity? Because you obviously can't do both, 3D Realms. It requires a deft hand to make these two vastly different tones work, and while you have many talents, deft hands are not one of them. Pressing on. The HIVE does actually present something kinda neat. These fungi-like jump pads that automatically bounce you to where you need to go. These are used sporadically for a few more levels, and I actually think it's kinda neat how they ping-pong you around. It would've been cool if they could have been utilized even more, like within combat, you and enemies are jumping around and you're trying to shoot each other in mid-air, but like a lot of DNF's ideas, it's just kind of underbaked, whereas some other things are like overbaked to the point of being burned. Anyway, once you do this environmental puzzle here that plays almost exactly like the one in Prey, you tear through room after room of octobrains, eggs, more eggs, the same puzzle again, and more eggs. After all this slog, a loading screen helpfully dubs the next level Queen Bitch, so I guess we'll be fighting the Queen Bitch. Wait, no, we're not fighting the Queen yet, bitch or otherwise, because first, we need to make a stop in another Gaim, the Gaim of the Duke Dome.
Gaim? What's a Gaim?
Now, be wary, if the game suddenly throws a room like this at you, straight out of the blue with a variety of ego-boosting interactables, well, there's a reason. Dumbbells and porn equals boss fountain. Now, once you're done getting that pump, head through the doors to start your battle with Big Mama. Now then, God damn it, Georgia. Okay, alright, that's better. This is the second true boss fight of the game, and it's not all that bad. You have ammo crates on either side of the arena, and you have to dodge her projectiles while firing your own, whilst enemies warp in around you in waves. There's a good amount of factors to consider during this fight, so it's not a cakewalk while also not being too frustrating or vague in what you're supposed to be doing. I have to say, despite the obvious 3D realms-ness of this boss, the Queen is actually a pretty horrific creature, almost scary despite, and the scope of the Duke Dome helps sell her scale and, considerable carriage. Just keep pelting her with, say, RPG shells and she'll go down in pretty spectacular fashion. Again, knocking Duke out on his ass and into unconsciousness. Jesus, dude faints more than, like, Harry Potter. Now, remember the first thing you do in Duke Nukem Forever? No, after that, I mean, outside the tutorial. Yes, running around the lady killer / talk show set, dicking around and wasting time. Now, Get prepared for the most shoehorn version of that you could ever possibly shoehorn. I guess since there's no logical way for Duke to take a strip club shaped detour, what with the world crumbling around him, 3D Realms had to get creative. So therefore, you need to visit a deeper, more personal strip club, the strip club in one's mind, the self, the id. In this case, it's Duke Nukem's Titty City, not to be confused with some other classier establishments. The first thing that occurs within these sexy metaphysical walls is videogamestripper.model.unreal asks Duke to go on a time-wasting fetch quest. Now, Duke owns this establishment, yeah? I don't know why he has to get her. What does he need to get her?
Well, first, I'm kind of hungry, so I need something to nibble on. And then I need something naughty to play with. And then, well, a girl has to play it safe, even with you, Duke.
Okay, yeah, sure, that sounds like a party. And then, once she has all the required items, she promises some vague fun will be had. Now, I can get you these things, sure, but I don't need a lap dance as a reward. I'm tired. Can we just snuggle? Okay, whatever. George wants us to wander around this massive strip club, so let's wander around this massive goddamn strip club. Alright, so straight off the bat, the first thing you do is just jump in front of this mirrored surface. Yeah, that's the stuff right there. After that, feel free to enter this bathroom and without wasting time, shove little Duke into the slurp hole. Alright,
Oh, yeah.
okay, that's concerningly mysterious. Now, if this is taking place in Duke's head, which I'm like 98% sure it does, it would be really cool if you could open the opposite door and see that there was no one there in that stall at all, further proving that this is a dream or Titty City is haunted by randy ghosts. Alright, so, judging by the girls that work here, I guess Duke requires that all his strippers should conceal their nipples via the classiest of all nipple coverings, Pogs. Yeah, I'm going with Pogs. Alright, I can joke all I want, but I gotta say, the strip club, while obviously just kinda shoved in this awkward point of the game, is at least something visually appealing to look at, and I don't mean its employees. It's just nice to see some high contrast and, well, some color for crap's sake. This is as close as the game gets to invoking Duke Nukem on a mood board sort of level. I would have preferred this to be integrated into the main game a little better, like within an actual level and not just be a fetch quest, but, you know, I'll take what I can get. And maybe it's the limits of this engine, whatever engine it is, but if Duke is so dang popular and his ego so large, this place should be filled with way more NPCs, because the amount that is here makes it seem like Titty City is not in fact the one-stop shop for said titty. It's surprisingly kind of low-key. Maybe it's a Monday night, I don't know. Monique is on stage first, and she does okay, I guess. Could have used some more athleticism, honestly, but I think she's lost her passion for it. Hey look, that Johnny Cage character model is back here as the DJ, so that guy gets around. If we head behind the bar, we can see advertisements for a local brew, booty juice. Before a stripper, I guess the bartender says out loud, in front of her boss,
This is the best place I have ever worked.
Whoa, strip tender. Look, I said I'll look at a raise during the next performance review. Come on, just get back to work. There's a locked door right here that I don't know the code to, and I guess Duke doesn't know either, despite this being in his head. I try all the usual suspects. No dice. I'll come back to this. Anyway, wandering around, looking to see if the code shows up amongst all the weird posters, and then so many strippers come out of nowhere unannounced, scaring the shit out of me. So I just go hide in the game room. You are encouraged to, of course, play the games in the game room, including a pretty yikes one here that's just whack-a-mole. It gets a bit long in the tooth, as you'll see. Yep. But you get an ego boost, so thank God for that, because I would have rage quit DNF right here if I hadn't. Also, I guess you can humiliate this guy in air hockey if you like. to be honest, the perspective is kind of fucked up. It doesn't control well, and with no music or anything, it's actually pretty boring.
Piece of shit.
But once you beat him, you steal his ego and then add it to your own. You could then converse with that guy's girlfriend, air hockey girl. I guess, yeah, sure.
You're even better looking in person.
What was I even supposed to be doing? Right, popcorn flavored condoms for my dildo. Right. Okay, so I found a bag of unpopped popcorn. That should be good enough for the horny, hungry stripper upstairs.
My tummy's growling.
Here. Oh, what? That's not good enough? Okay, fine. This vibrator then. Is this hers?
Body massage.
Okay. I get the reference, but what does a body massage have to do with never mind.
Did you find yourself a rapper?
Okay, wait. So stripper friend wants me to grab all 3 items before we do the horizontal mambo. She refuses to accept them individually. Fine. Wow, this is okay. So now we're back in the dressing room, and there's no better way to show a lady that you're a man than by continually shoving your finger into an electrical socket. Oh, the popcorn's done. See, Her Majesty fussy stripper friend needs to eat cooked food. Okay, so the last thing we need is
my
the
monster condom for my Magnum Dom.
Shocked that Duke doesn't always pack one, but, I digress. Okay, so, after figuring out the code for that back office, I assume this is where we'll find the elusive robber, but the thing that you do find in the office, like right away, is the code for the office, right next to some drawings left by George Broussard. So where's a condom? I don't know. There's a beer right here, though. God, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Oh, wait, there they are. Yeah.
Wrap it before you tap it.
Oh, well said, Duke. Well said. Okay, so now I guess we're good to go. We can leave this. Whoa, wait, what's this? Nutbuster Video presents whatever the hell this says. Let's pop it in. I love how the game is so old that it has all this DVD stuff, but now it's kind of nostalgic, but it was probably meant to be cutting edge in like 2008 or whatever. Anyway, there we go. Oh, wait, no. Nukem. Yeah. Video presents, okay. Pooty Party. Sure. So, wait, is Duke also a porn star, or is it only in his head? And does he own both Nutbuster and Nukem Video?
What the hell? No.
Oh, damn, okay. I guess we miss out on that cinematic triumph. Alright, now we have all the required items for the quest that puts everything in The Witcher 3 to shame, so now we can saddle up with Stripper Friend. And I'm just jumping for joy over it. She then awkwardly and robotically gyrates, and turns out none of those items I worked super hard to get even come into play. Can I at least eat the popcorn during this? No? Alright, fine. Then the game suddenly cuts to a loading screen for Crash Course, and the cosmic ballet goes on. We are now actually maybe at the halfway point for Duke Nukem Forever, and fortunately, the game only gets more pedestrian and less spectacular from here, and considering that includes a monster truck level, or 3 of them, that's certainly saying something, and I'm not sure what. Next time on Matt Nukem Forever. Oh, the turret sequence. Can't wait.